Today in this video we are going to learn three basic configuration settings of a new router. The first one is accessing the router from the remote location. The second one is saving the router's running configurations and startup configurations into a configuration file in a flash memory. And the third one is saving the router's configurations on a remote location on the TFTP server, which is placed on the remote location. Hello and welcome to Asad IT Network. Today in this video we will learn how to access a router from a remote location. So to learn this concept, please stay with this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more upcoming videos and latest concepts about networking. Let's build a small network and try to access a router from the remote location. For the same devices we will use the cross cable. For different devices we will use the straight through cable. We will use this network for this portion and this network for this portion. Dot 1 on this port, dot 2 on this port, dot 1 on this port, dot 10 on this port. Easy. Let's do some basic configurations first. Dot 1 on this side with subnet mask, no shutdown to switch on the port. For this port we will come on this router. For this port we will access gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1. On this PC we will use the IP address of this port dot 1 as the default gateway for this PC. Let's add this network into its routing table so that our communication may be easy. We are adding this network into this router by use of static routing. For the next hop address we will use this port dot 2 10.10.10.2. So we have used the static routing technique to add this network into this router's routing table. Now if we try to send the ping packet to this PC. For the first try it has failed, for the second try it has been successful now. So we have built the basic network for our learning. Our basic topic was to access this router from the remote location from this PC. Let's see how we do that. We will come on this router and enable Telnet settings and allow remote PCs to access this router from remote location. We will use the command line vty 0-15, line vty 0-15. Now we have been entered into the line configuration settings. Here we will enter the command password, and the password to access this router from the remote location will be class. Okay, and we want to apply this password on the login. Whenever someone try to log in this router from the remote location, he has to use this password as class. Okay, before accessing this router from the remote location, we need to enable password on its privileged mode. We use the command enable password, and we use the password for privileged mode as Cisco. Now you can see that if someone comes and want to enter into the configuration settings of this router, he has to enter the command enable, and he has to face this password. And here we will use the password which we have set later, which is Cisco. You see, we have been entered into the privilege mode now. From this PC, now we are going to access the router's configurations from this PC. Here we will use the command telnet, and we will use the IP address of this port 10.10.10.1. Here you can see it is asking for the password, and the password was class. You see, we have been entered into the user mode. Here we use the command enable, and here it is asking again for the password, which is Cisco. And you see that we have been entered into the privileged mode now. Here we can use the command configure terminal, and we can use every command of the configuration settings from the remote location from this PC. You see, we are accessing this router from PC, and we are able to make any changes in the configuration of this router. We have learned how to access the router from a remote location by using Telnet. Now let's move forward and learn some more settings, some more basic configurations of a router. Let's see the flash memory of this router. You can see here we have 3 files. The first one is the US image file. Let's change the host name of the router. Host name Dubai. We have changed the router's name on the network to Dubai. Let's see the running configurations on this router. The host name Dubai, the IP address on this interface, these are some basic settings we have made on this router. If we reboot this router, we will lose all of these settings straight away. So what we have to do to avoid this loss, we need to save these running configurations into startup configuration or into a file, so that whenever we are going to access these settings again or reboot our router, we don't lose our basic settings. So how we do that? Let's see. Copy running configuration into startup configuration. So now we have saved our settings into the startup configuration. Whenever we are going to reboot this router, we are not going to lose our basic settings now. Let's say we want to save our settings or basic settings into a file and give that file a name, so that whenever we are try to access some specific settings and want to apply that settings on our router, we simply access that file, copy startup config, to flash. It is asking for the file name. Let's give this file a name as basic. You see, it has saved 670 bytes of data into this file. Let's see where is the file. You see, here is the file basic and its memory is 670 bytes. Now let's try to restore this file into our router. Let's change the name of this router again. Hostname to router. You see that it has changed its name to router again. And at some point we want to reapply those basic settings from that file on this router. We need to copy that file from the flash memory into the startup configuration. Copy, this time from flash to startup. Flash to startup configuration, and now it is asking for the file name, the file which we have kept earlier, basic. You see, it has copied now and into the startup configuration, and the file has been copied into the startup configuration, but still we have the name of the router as router. Let's copy that file, the startup configurations, into the running configuration now. And how to do that? Copy startup configuration into the running configuration. You see that it is asking for the confirmation, and now you see that it has changed its name from router to Dubai automatically. It means that the file has been into the working condition now. So in this video we have also learned that how we used to save our running configuration into startup configuration, and then startup configuration into a specific file, and for any point, at any point whenever we need that file, we can access and restore that file into our running configuration, first into the startup configuration and then copy from startup configuration into the running configuration. If you still not have subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe and follow along with all our videos. Now let's learn another concept to save our settings on a remote location. We are going to save this router's configuration file on this server on a remote location. We are going to make some basic setting on this router, on this server, We are giving it an IP address .11, this subnet mask, and its default gateway will be the same 192.168.1.1 of this port. Okay. Let's come on this router and we use the command copy running configuration into startup configuration first. The settings have been saved into the startup configuration. Now let's copy that startup configurations into the remote location, which is on the TFTP server, and if we press the enter button, it is asking for the address of the remote host. We give the IP address here 192.168.1.11 of the, this is the IP address of the remote server, Dubai Basics. We have given it a name as Dubai Basics. You see that it has copied 781 bytes of data into the remote location. Let's see where is the file on this router, on this server. If you access this server and access the services on this router, you see that here is the service TFTP, and on this router here we have a number of files which are kept in this router, in this server, and on the top of it we have our file also, which is Dubai Basics. So our settings of this router are saved on the remote location now, and if we lose anything on this router, or whenever we are going to access this router's basic settings, we can access them this file from this server, and we can again implement our basic settings on this router.